Odio.
Yeah, what about Taylor?
Well, like, yeah, it's like...
Yeah, te odio.
Yeah, but it's like overused. But, and then, like, at the end of the... Yeah, like, and the two words are meant to be, like it says, like, those two words that were buried, like, two daggers in his gut, it obviously had, like, a really big impact on them. And I think that if she just said, like, te amo, like, he is such, like, a lonely and solitary person that he wouldn't really understand that. Like, he would just be like, oh, okay, so. Okay, I don't.
I think Colin.
Okay, give it to Ashley.
Egoísta.
Okay, well, I agree with both of y'all. I think it could be te amo, but I don't really think that necessarily the words matter as much as the meaning that she gave it to him, that it's like something secret between them two and something special for only them, and he feels kind of like that's his own little part of her. So it could be te amo, but whatever two words, it just kind of forms their relationship.
Y te deseo.
I think that Dana is wrong. I think it can be te amo, because maybe the Colonel has never been loved before. Maybe she said it very seductively.
Okay, yeah, but if I told you I loved you right now,
Alright, Colin, just give me one.
It's the feelings he has inside, you know. You don't know how he
but
feels.
he's such a solitary person.
We all know the Johnson.
Oh!
Bang, bang, shots fired.
Chicos, una cosa, ¿cómo era la vida del coronel antes de encontrar a Belisa? ¿Cómo era? Fuerte, era una vida violenta, ¿eh? ¿Sí o no? ¿Y por qué cuando la encuentra él piensa que ya no quiere ser como un tirano, como un bandido? ¿Qué pasa ahí? Él quiere tener poder y ser presidente, pero por las buenas, no con violencia. Él era un hombre muy peligroso, muy temido.
Hey, Jake, here you go. Alright, I agree with what Dana's saying, because, like, if he had lived, like, a life of, like, war and, like, fighting and stuff, like, he, like, may never, like, actually, like, love someone or, like, been in love. And so if she had said that to him, he, like, would have just kind of ignored that and, like, not thought of it as, like, a big deal as someone who was, like,
Oh, what's up?
Buenas noches.
Oh, there's a shower. So who, like, someone who, like, was, like, always, like, searching for love, and then, like, someone says it to him, and then he's like, oh, well, like, I finally found it.
Well, here it is, you know.
Yeah, but like if I told you I loved you right now, like that wouldn't mean anything.
Right, he's searching for
Exactly. He has
Yeah, but he doesn't understand it.
How do you know he hasn't been searching?
just because he's been fighting.
He's been fighting a war.
I mean, yeah, and
You can think about other things during fighting a war.
Okay.
yeah, you know, it brings you back home.
Or you're thinking about the
Excuse me, do you have the ball?
And we're probably the final two comments. Final two comments.
The thing about that, I think, really is the fact, like Matt said, is that he's been fighting a war, he's been hated by everyone for so long. He hasn't been searching for love, all he's been doing is searching for money. So now what he's doing, he's trying to repent and trying to find something else in his life. And since she said that she loved him, he knows that the words that she wrote, that the feelings that she has about him are possible, and that's a very special thing to him. And she's never loved anyone before. We have no background information into her love life. All we know is that she buried 4 brothers and walked away. So it's special for her as well in that sense, because she's never wanted to be loved. She wanted to be sought out for her job, but now she has someone else, and that's why she's so drawn to him as well.
Oh, we're in final comment time. We're in final comment time.
I think the most important part of that is that we don't know what the two words are, because the fact that it leaves it at such an open end is what inspires the discussion about it, that allows people to form, you know, a more dynamic personality of how they understand Belisa to be, because it could be so many different things, and I think that's what's important, not what she said, that you're focusing on the wrong thing.
All right, give them a hand. Oh, sorry.
Muy buenos comentarios, ¿eh?
We'll go around the horn with favorite comments.
That was.
I really liked, my favorite comment was from Monica, and it was the analogy she made between like the immigrant and then wanting legal status and stuff like that. So that was really cool. I like that.
I actually wrote down Monica's comment too, so the same thing. But also I liked Colin's comment because like he compared my question to like someone that has nothing and becomes well known because of like how well they can speak and like how well they like present themselves.
I liked Nick's comment when I think it was Anna's question when you like talked about him being like a politician veteran.
I also liked Nick's comment when we were talking about the symbol of the mulatto, and I liked how he said like mulatto is drawn to the idea of education and how she kind of represents education.
This is interesting. No fly zone.
Alright, I was really intrigued from Mike's comment. Dude, he was just talking about, how El Mulatto got really jealous and it turned into rage.
Oh, rage?
Oh, sí. Sí. Con las rejections.
No.
I liked Sarah's comment about how in the beginning she had to travel a little bit because she had to make a living, but then once she became really famous, people came her because she built up such a big reputation.
I wrote down the comment by Monica when she was talking about how she was talking about how El Mulatto might not have had like the knowledge that Belisa had, and because he didn't have that knowledge, he was like upset and frustrated that she couldn't like understand her and became jealous, I guess.
Hey, what about Kyle?
Yes.
I wasn't here until 2 minutes ago.
I liked Dana's response to my question about postmodernism, because I think she did a really good job of mixing in the magical realism and elements of postmodernism over there. So yeah.
Wow.
It's fantastic. It's like deep, goes right down.
Okay, well then ask it.
Alright, so like if the Colonel was so good at like speaking and like talking to people, why do you think he wanted Belisa to write him a speech so bad?
You already asked that question.
No, we didn't. We asked why he couldn't write.
Why he couldn't write, not why he wanted her to give him a speech.
Yeah, sounds right.
Well, he wanted the speech because he wanted to win by a popular election rather than by using force to get the elections set up already. And then because Belisa was so eloquent already with her words, he could make the people's minds move and sympathize with him where it's coming from.
And I think it also is like he didn't have like the knowledge to like put enough like good words together that would like sway the people to like vote for him. And it was like she just had more like knowledge of extra words that would help him.
Right, like I agree with that. Like he was able to have like the appearance of like a very like suave person, like with the way he speaks and stuff, but he needed someone to like make up the words for him, and that's what Belisa like had. Like she could put them together well and he could present it well.
I think you can kind of see it like the Colonel is kind of like an actor, and most actors don't write anything of their own, but they can say stuff really well and they can put on a persona, because obviously the Colonel wasn't like some grand scholar or anything, but he could make himself seem like that. So I think it's kind of like an actor just reading the words that someone's given to him.
Don't be a tool. So, he wanted to use Belisa because he didn't want to have the risk of messing up in the speech and that. He wanted it to be perfect, and she was known for that, and just wanted to make a good impression.
Yeah, I was gonna agree with what Sabrina said, that he was really well respected by everybody, and so the fact that he had all these big words and everything that he got from Belisa wasn't
really a surprise to them. So it was kind of like an actor that like got a script from somebody and then performed it, and then everybody praised the actor. So like it was believable for him to use all these words because of how respected he was.
Like, I think that, he easily, like he said in the text, like, he easily could have, like, taken over the government, like, with tyranny and stuff, but he wanted the people to like him, and so he wanted to try, like, a different approach that he, like, wasn't accustomed to, so that's why he, like, seeked, for writing.
Give it to Matt, give it to
Natalie.
Natalie. I'm not to listen. Shots fired.
How do you think Blaze's background of being like poor and alone has significance in the story?
What'd you say?
How do you think that Blaze's background of being like poor and like alone without like anybody, how does that like have significance in the story? Like how did she like develop, I guess?
I think that the fact that she was poor and alone, like, made her, like Nick was saying, she had never really had anybody to love, and so when she was so used to people only seeking out for her words, and then when the colonel liked her, it was that much better for her because it was finally somebody who wanted her for her, not just for her words. So, because she had never felt that before, because nobody. So, yeah.
I think it makes her more relatable to the audience because even if you're super rich, you don't really relate to like the rich guy in a story. You always relate to like the underdog who came from nothing and then made their own way. And I think if she'd been like some like mysterious empress who like lived in a palace, I don't think we could have related to her as well. But because she comes from poverty and she had to work her way up, we can all like relate to her struggle and we see her as like a better protagonist.
What do you think were like the colonel's intentions or like motivations for running for president? Like why didn't he just stay what he was like right now, like just being kind of like a warlord?
Because he said he wanted to he said that in the past they've always had people who would just like rule with like only their power, and he wanted to change it to be more like he wanted the people to like actually like want to have him as a leader, not just have like a tyrant as their leader.
And also he said he was like really alone and because no one liked him, so he wanted to get a position where people actually liked him because he like worked for the people instead of like against people.
Like he's seen how corrupt everybody is through like the wars and whatnot, and just with all the presidents or whatever they had, dictators in the past, he just wanted to have a change and to cure the country of all the grievances and everything that he's been through.
Presidente, próximo presidente de Estados Unidos.
Strong and smart. Wow.
Nick.
Alright, so when the colonel and El Mulatto want to bring Belisa back, El Mulatto says like, you're coming with me, and it says that she had been waiting. Why do you think Belisa had been waiting for the colonel to call her back?
She was waiting because she knew like the two words. She knew the two words that she told the colonel would like. She knew that she would be like called back to them, and she knew like how strong the words were and like what an impact they would have on him. So she was like expecting him to be really affected by them and like need her.
And I think like the two words thing, because it says that like for the people that do pay like a certain amount of money, everyone gets like an extra word or something. So I think it could be possible that just because, I mean, yeah, a lot of people think that it was like because he like liked her and she liked him, but it also could be like something for